An archetype is a character within the story that we share. It's a shared story, and it's often a story that's deeply embedded within us. And it's something that we recognize often without even realizing that we're recognizing it. I think it's the thing that drives successful storytelling. So when you're reading a book and you're really into it, you're going from event to event and things line up, events are happening, and it's just resonating with you, and you're not consciously thinking, oh, this is because this connects to this in my life or this. But why do certain things resonate? So we're going to pick apart Harry Potter today. I'm going to show you an example of how that, one of the most successful stories ever written, that had 10-year-olds reading 400-page books. I think it was successful because of its use of archetypes. But J.K. Rowling wrote that novel, the first one, when she was a single mother on welfare. And I don't think she went through and listed out archetypes when she was structuring it. But I think it was successful because she followed her gut, and your gut resonates with archetypes. So I think when you tell a successful story, you're finding events, you're like, oh, that matches up with this, and what do I want to have happen after this, and this event really interests me. But I think the ones that are most successful and that resonate with audiences do so because they connect to something deeper within us, which is the same thing that an archetype does. So, for example, Harry Potter lives in the cupboard under the stairs with the Dursleys, who are not his parents. And that's an idea that is an archetype in itself, and many of us have. The movie about the girl who finds out she's a princess, which has been told in so many different forms. Realizing your royalty and not knowing it. Harry Potter receives a letter, finds out that these parents you have that are boring and awful, you're actually special. These aren't your real parents. You actually have a whole nother set of parents, and actually, you're famous in a whole nother life. That's something that resonates deeply with a lot of us, and I think a lot of readers, just that idea alone. Many of us, we walk around feeling like we're the stars of our own movies. Now, and the idea of two sets of parents is an archetype. That's going into deeper of because you're going to grow up, eventually your parents die, but you still have an obligation to the world. And that's an idea of there's still parents beyond your two parents. Your parents are not the only thing that you have to live up to. There's outside responsibility. Okay, so Harry Potter goes to the castle, the magic castle, Hogwarts. And I think there's an archetype in the Sorting Hat, which represents order and everything's peaceful. They are divided up by personality traits almost into different houses. Everything's going well. And do you remember what happens in the second book? At the end of the second book, what is lurking under the castle? That monster, the basilisk. What's a basilisk?
A snake.
Yeah, it's a snake. It's a snake. The snake is an archetype that resonates with us as well. Why? I think it's evolutionary. A long time ago, we used to die from snake bites. People still die from snake bites. But when you're walking through the woods today and you see something on the ground shaped like a snake out of the periphery, the bottom periphery of your vision, you will react to it faster than you can think. That's subconscious, just like an archetype. And it's a survival mechanism to this day. Many people have dreams, reoccurring dreams of snakes in their dreams. Has anyone ever had a dream with a snake in it? So, where's the basilisk? What happens when you see the basilisk? What happens when a small animal sees something that could eat it? A rabbit sees a fox. What happens when you're frightened? You freeze. It's a survival mechanism. What happens when people see the basilisk? They're turned to stone. Right? So, the basilisk, where's the basilisk live? The Chamber of Secrets, right? The first book, the first Harry Potter book, everything happens under the surface as well. When he goes down there, I think, and he confronts Voldemort with the Sorcerer's Stone, that all happens underneath the castle. This is an archetype that echoes to the fact that outside this classroom and in the world, just beneath the surface is the potential of danger and chaos and disorder and the unknown, right? What does Harry Potter have to do? This is the hero's journey. He voluntarily enters the unknown to try and save Ginny, right? It's important that he voluntarily does it. If Harry Potter were forced to by Snape or somebody, it's like, Harry Potter, you got to go down. Oh man, all right, fine, I'm gonna go do this. I don't think it would have resonated with the reader because the hero's journey resonates. The voluntary acceptance of going into the unknown to face the beast that makes us freeze when we see it. That's the hero's journey, the voluntary acceptance of that. So he descends into the depths. And what happens? The snake bites him, and he basically is on the verge of death. Why did she include that? To show you that danger is real, that when you do voluntarily go into the depths, which is reality, out there beneath the surface is danger, is the unknown. The world is the unknown, and it's always going to be there. And you're going to have to decide whether to voluntarily accept it or not.